Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a windy but pleasant evening in Scotland. So in today's video what we're going to do is three things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get the crash bar, the intercooler, radiator and oil cooler out of this car. We're going to mount the crash bar to this one, which will allow us to get all the bumper, headlights and everything on this car and get it all aligned. Once we've done that, we'll fit the oil cooler, radiator, intercooler and a couple of pipes and stuff that are broken in this one. We'll swap them over from the blue one onto it, which will turn this back into a working car again. And last but not least, we're going to fix that light that's constantly flashing because it's driving me and quite a lot of you guys nuts. Let's crack on, get the radiator, intercooler and oil cooler out of here, along with all the pipes and everything else that we need from there for this car, and we'll take it from there. So I apologise for interrupting the music and the montage, but I just thought I'd show you this because it's quite a neat trick. So, taking the radiator out of a car. If you've only got a small bucket, like this one, because you've not raised the car in the air, easiest way to do it, where you don't get radiator fluid everywhere, take the top hose off first. So then you're only dealing with this high on the radiator and whatever's left in the system from the pipes up the top. That allows you to fill your bucket up, then you empty it, and you put it back on the other side. And rather than just pulling this pipe straight out and then you've got to deal with half the radiator dumping on the floor, use a set of mole grips on the clip, squeeze them shut, and it'll open up the pipe enough to let some of the water drain out like that. When that stops dripping, pull the rest of it off, and you're only dealing with probably half the radiator's worth of fluid. Now you obviously don't need to do that. And you can just pull the bottom hose out and have radiator fluid go absolutely everywhere. But I'm going to have to lie on that floor in a minute, and I don't fancy lying in that. So there's a little trick for you. Anyway, back to the music, back to the montage. Right, so that's that out. And I was actually wrong. That's not the intercooler, radiator and oil cooler. It's actually the radiator, the intercooler and the air condenser. And that bar down there that I thought was the oil cooler is actually the power steering cooler. So the next thing we're going to do, because my brother and my friend are here, is we're going to get the crash bar off, get that mounted up on the new car, and then we're going to take this bonnet off, take the hinges off because it's not sitting right and I'm not happy with it. And somebody reached out to me on Instagram and actually told me that bonnet's likely damaged too. So we'll put another bonnet on it, put the red hinges back on it, and then we'll get the headlights and the bumper on it as well, line everything up so it's all good, and then we'll take it from there. Right, so that's the first mock-up done. Basically what we were doing there was messing around with all the gaps, so the wing and the bonnet gap, headlight, bumper, it's all pretty much there, and really what we were doing that for was to make sure that the actual car was straight, which it is, which is great news. And some of it is not quite there yet, so like for example that gap in the headlight there, but all those things can be addressed once everything's painted and ready for final fit. So what we need to do now is get all of that back off again so we can get all the mechanicals done. So fit the radiator, all that stuff, power steering lines, all the damaged air hose, anything that's damaged in this car, we need to take it off of that car, put it onto here, make this a running car again. So let's get all of this back off again. What we'll do is we'll mark up the bonnet where the hinges are so we know when we refit it that that's where they're to go. And we'll get all this off and then turn our attention back to this car and steal all the bits off it that we need. Right, so that's all bar 2 pipes taken off of this car and fitted onto that car. And the last 2 remaining pipes is this radiator hose here and that power steering pipe there. But unfortunately, I've run out of time for just now because I need to go and take the kids to some of their activities. So I'll see you guys back here either later on today or first thing tomorrow morning. And one thing my brother did in the background, which you guys didn't see, is we switched off that light for just now, which is happy days. The blinking's going to stop. Anyway, with that, I'll see you guys back here in just a second. Right, so it's actually a couple of days later, and as you can see, the weather has got slightly inclement. And not only is it currently snowing, we're just about to go under a red weather warning for high winds. So I think I'm going to end the video there this week, guys. I apologise for that, but I've got to get stuff ready for this storm that's coming. And as I was saying earlier, I've still got to get a couple of pipes out from underneath there, but I don't overly fancy lying in this absolute soup in order to get them out. But because it may be a few days before I'm back working on the car again, what I've done is I've labelled all the pipes that I still need to remove, so that when I come back to the car in a couple of days' time, I know what work I've still got to do. And I do apologise for cutting the video short, but unfortunately, that's just sometimes the way of it. So what we'll do in next week's video is we'll remove the 2 pipes from here that we need, we'll fit them to the red car, and in this car we'll be ready for the radiator and everything to go back in. And then what we'll do is we'll get the crash bar painted, and then get it mounted in place, which will then allow us to paint the top bar and get that fitted back up. And at that point we'll be ready to paint the front bumper, paint the bonnet, and then it'll be time to move on to the interior and get the dashboard replaced. And for all of you guys and girls who live in the UK, I hope everybody stays safe during the storm, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.